Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Welcome. My name is Haneen Hamad, and I am the Northwest Events Coordinator for Islamic Relief USA. Ramadan Mubarak. I know we are all missing our meshes right now. I know me personally, I'm miss going to the MCA every night and seeing the beautiful Bay Area community. So instead, I would just like to welcome you all here virtually, and Jazakallah khair for joining us tonight. I hope your Ramadan has been a blessed one. I know that this Ramadan is one we'll always remember for its very unique circumstances, but I pray inshallah it will be remembered in our book of deeds for the generosity that we've showed this month. And as we are in our last 10 nights of Ramadan, this is the time to increase our good deeds and draw closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So inshallah, I pray that everyone can give from their hearts. But first off, before we continue, I want to start with the recitation of the Quran. I'd like to introduce you to Qari Abdul Karim Adhush.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولله ملك السماوات والأرض والله على كل شيء قدير إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك فقنا عذاب النار ربنا إنك من تدخل النار فقد أخزيته وما للظالمين من أنصار ربنا إننا سمعنا مناديا ينادي للإيمان أن آمنوا بربكم فآمنا ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار ربنا وآتنا ما وعدتنا على رسلك ولا تخزنا يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد فاستجاب لهم ربهم أني لا أضيع عمل عامل منكم من ذكر أو أنثى بعضكم من بعض فالذين هاجروا وأخرجوا من ديارهم وأوذوا في سبيلي وقتلوا لأكفرن عنهم سيئاتهم ولأدخلنهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ثوابا من عند الله والله عنده حسن الثواب لا يغرنك تقلب الذين كفروا في البلاد متاع قليل ثم مأواهم جهنم وبئس المهاد لكن الذين اتقوا ربهم لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها نزلا من عند الله وما عند الله خير للأبرار وإن من أهل الكتاب لمن يؤمن بالله وما أنزل إليكم وما أنزل إليهم خاشعين لله لا يشترون بآيات الله ثمنا قليلا أولئك لهم أجرهم عند ربهم إن الله سريع الحساب يا أيها الذين آمنوا اصبروا وصابروا ورابطوا واتقوا الله لعلكم تفلحون صدق الله العظيم.
Qari, that was a beautiful recitation. Next, I would like to introduce you to the Islamic Relief video. It talks about our programs and our kind of a general information video.
Envision a parent's heart warm when their child comes home safe from school. Envision a glass of clean water for a little girl who used to walk miles to quench her thirst. Envision the hungry belly of an orphan now full of nourishment and hope. Envision a promising tomorrow for a woman who is providing for her family. Envision a Ramadan full of mercy, love, and joy. This Ramadan, envision a better world with Islamic Relief.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that informative video. Next, I would like to introduce to you somebody who is a long-time supporter of Islamic Relief, goes way back, inshallah. So please give it up for Brother Nabil Ahmed.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well wherever you are on the globe watching. Thank you for joining us. I know it can be a little challenging at times joining virtually, but thank you all for joining us from the comfort of your home. And I hope Ramadan is going well, especially these last 10 days, inshallah. I just wanted to, share some thoughts. And I wanted you all to just think about something. I mean, we're all here. We've all logged in. We're all watching this because we know what the purpose is. There's no surprise. It's for orphan sponsorship. But I want you to really think about something here. And I pray, inshallah, that none of us ever have to go through this and none of us experience this in our lifetime. But I want you to just imagine for just a moment. Imagine that everything you have, whether it's your house, your cars, your money, your assets, whatever you have, is all of a sudden is gone. It just disappears. You know, you see everything you have. In fact, even the clothes you have in your closet, everything is gone. You have literally nothing. Now, I don't like to assume things, but I'm gonna make a very safe assumption that most of us, if not all of us, if we were ever, God forbid, in that situation, would have relatives, would have family, would have friends, would have a community that we could go to kind of get readjusted, to kind of restart ourselves, to kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of to just get I think my fasting brain is kicking in right now, to just basically um be to have support, whether it would be, to borrow some money to find work, to basically get support. We would have that, so we would be able to bounce back very easily. But I want you to think about something now. Think, just imagine if you were in that situation and everyone you knew, every one of your friends, every one of your community members, every one of your relatives was in that same situation, but they had literally nothing. So even if they wanted to help you, there was nothing they could do because they're in that same situation as you, or even worse. That's what I want you to think about when we're talking about how we can assist the orphans in this country. They are in a situation where everyone in their community, everyone that is close to them, anyone and everyone that they have access to, is in that exact same situation. That's why it's imperative for us to remember that we are the only people that have the ability to help them. So if we're not helping them, then literally no one is. We have the ability, we have the means to do that. And I know right now things are very tough for us. I know COVID-19 has made things harder for many of us, but I also want you to think about, in some ways it's made it easier. I know many of us, alhamdulillah, are in positions where we can work from home, and working from home, even though it may be psychologically a little tough, it has its blessings in disguise. I know we're saving money on gas, we're not going out as much, we're not eating out as much, so we're in some ways even saving money, alhamdulillah, for those of us that are still employed. So in that sense, I want you to think about that. You might have a little bit more money in your pocket than you normally would have, because you're not commuting as much as you would, you're not going out as much, eating out as much. So I want you to keep that in mind when you're donating. And then of course, we know that, I don't have to remind everyone, these are the last 10 nights. We know that any one of these last 10 nights could be Laylatul Qadr. So your blessing, your donations will be multiplied by a tremendous amount when you donate. That's one thing. And regardless of whether you've given your zakat or not, regardless of whether you've donated, I just, from the bottom of my heart, want to ask you to really don't. We're not just asking you to dig into your pockets, but dig deep into your heart and purify your wealth. Alhamdulillah, I'm sure we all have halal jobs and halal risks, but there's always some element of our wealth and of our the money we make that can be purified, that can be given more blessings from Allah, inshallah. So that's all I wanted to share. Just keep that in mind, and again, be generous, and remember these orphans. I don't even want to go into deep into this situation as to what they're in. I mean, we'll learn more about that as the program goes by, but just keep that in mind as we go through the program, inshallah. Thank you.
Jazakallah khair. Next, I would like to introduce you to our video that talks about Islamic Relief Orphans and the work that we do and all the programs that we have.
We all want the best for the children in our lives. A happy home, good health, a steady education, and a safe space to grow and play. However, for millions of children across the globe, this is simply a dream. Right now, an estimated 140 million children worldwide are living as orphans, having lost one or both parents. Fleeing disaster, conflict, and battling poverty, childhood dreams have been turned into a struggle for survival. Children such as Farooq from Bangladesh know this reality all too well. With no father at home, Farouk's life has become even harder. Poverty and insecurity are now his daily reality. However, there is hope. By sponsoring an orphan child with Islamic Relief, you can provide these precious children with an education, shelter, and hope for a brighter future. Farouk dreams of a better future. Will you help him achieve this? Our orphan sponsorship program is designed to support not only one child at a time, but the entire family. Your donations fund critical cash grants, which allow families to rebuild their own sense of independence and ensures that every orphan has access to the basic necessities they need to improve their health and educational and social development. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "The one who cares for an orphan and myself will be together in paradise like this," holding up his index and middle fingers. Here at Islamic Relief, we are currently supporting over 62,000 orphans worldwide as a family. But we can't stop there. By donating to Islamic Relief, you can transform the lives of children like Farouk and many, many more. Your donations will provide crucial care, including schooling, food, and medical care. Islamic Relief's orphan sponsorships pave the road for orphans to one day be self-sufficient. Help them reach for the stars and lighten up their future. Sponsor an orphan today with Islamic Relief. Islamic Relief USA, working together for a better world.
بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. All praises due to Allah, the Compassionate, the Merciful. May Allah's praise and peace be upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those as we gathered on this virtual platform to worship Him, as this is a form of worship, to remind ourselves of our duties towards those who are less fortunate, to gather us again under His shade when there is no shade but His, and to make us among those who will drink from the hands of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and to make us among those who will reside with him in the highest level of paradise, Al-Firdaus al-A'la. Allahumma ameen, ameen, ameen. My name is Munir Qtaish. I'm one of the blessed employees that have been working for Islamic Relief or with the Islamic Relief staff since around end of 2005. And I say blessed because not just the organization and the friendship that you build with these brothers and sisters, but because Islamic Relief is a vehicle, is a platform that allows us to go to see these brothers and sisters in need across the globe. And I'm able to come back to my community here and speak on behalf of these individuals like this. Just like I see people here on the screen, little screens, if you wish. I see Haneen or Nabil or Naeem and our friends. I'm also visualizing the orphans, these that behind my back in Pakistan, in Kashmir, in Bosnia, the Rohingya Muslims, in refugee camps, Syrian refugees in Jordan, in Lebanon, or in Turkey, Palestinian refugees, in the refugees within their own country, in Gaza, or in Jordan, or the Yemen children, or the Iraqi orphans. Iraq war caused about 1 million orphans. And these, if you lose your father, they're not coming back, they still remain orphans, right? Just like I see you here, they're also in the back of my mind, and hopefully in the back of your mind, that these brothers and sisters, these young children, they're looking for help. And And you know, brothers and sisters, right now, there's many webinars, many live streams, whether people asking you for money or encouraging you. Many of our imams are encouraging us in the last 10 days of Ramadan that we focus on reading more Quran and doing more salah and istighfar, and rightfully so. We all want to be among those who witness these beautiful nights and be among those who are freed from hellfire and be among those who are called upon on the night of power, inshallah, and be declared among those who've won worship during that night, which is equivalent to 1,000 months plus. While all these things are good, what I want to encourage myself and you, inshallah, during these minutes is don't make it these last few days only about me, my prayers, my Quran, my dhikr. Can we make it about we, not only me? You benefit, inshallah ta'ala, at the personal level with your recitation, with your prayers, with your, but how can I impact someone else's life, inshallah? How can I take care of children in Afghanistan, in Niger, in Tunisia, in Kenya? You see the names that are available in front of you on the screen. And subhanAllah, I was looking at the orphans that Islamic Relief is sponsoring, thousands of orphans. And last one I saw, there's more than 422 that are still awaiting to be sponsored, inshallah. And hopefully with your generosity, that we can take care of more children, take care of more orphans, inshallah ta'ala, in the Muslim Ummah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One thing I want to share with you, subhanAllah, the fact that we're reading more Quran, it should impact us positively that we give more. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to be known as a very generous person, but they say he was more generous in Ramadan. And some of the explanation for this, like he would use to review the Quran constantly with Sayyidina Jibreel, but in Ramadan he will increase that capacity. He will do it more than once. And they say the impact, subhanAllah, the impact if you read the verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's hardly that you find 1, 2, 3, 4 pages without Allah's reminding, you know, when he speaks of the description of believing men and women, Ibadur Rahman, that just like they pray, just like they give their zakat, they take care of those who are less fortunate. They know, they realize that in their wealth, haqqun ma'loom lis-sa'ili wal mahrum. In their wealth, there is part of their wealth is dedicated for those who are less fortunate, those who don't have much, to the orphan children, to those who are suffering. Part of their zakat al-mal needs to go there, to purify them, to purify their wealth, as Brother Nabil mentioned earlier. So if we're reading the Quran more in this blessed month, the direct result should be that I give more. Because I'm reading the Quran, I want to be among those of Ibadur Rahman, these righteous believers that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks of. They want Allah's mercy. They want to be declared among those freed from hellfire during this blessed month. Then I see part of their characteristics is they're giving people. They're not stingy, right? They realize that if I give, I'm placing it in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's better than saving it in my bank account. Because whatever I give to Allah or for Allah's sake, that's the true bank account that never diminishes. But whatever I keep, as you know, the hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when along with his wife, and he said, "Oh, give," you know, they had a goat, and he's like, "Okay, give this much, and keep this much." He said, "Oh, but we're keeping only a little." I said, "No, we're keeping what we gave, because what we give is going to be with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? What we give is that's our savings. What we keep and eat and consume, that's what's going to go to the sewer. That's not what we're keeping." And that's the mentality of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He realizes and recognizes that when we give to help those who are less fortunate, that's what stays in our bank accounts. But the bank account of al-akhirah, the bank account that never diminishes, the bank account that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grow and expand if we are sincere and, you know, paying attention to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us. I'll tell you a story. I like to tell stories, and Haneen, when we start like opening, you can mention some of the stories, you know, but something that I've maybe heard me share before. But subhanAllah, just I like the story and like to share it a lot. Just about giving and Allah, how much Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah when you give. There's this Imam who is mentioned, a known person, his name Ahmad ibn Miskin. He's an Imam. He was an Imam in the past. And Ahmad ibn Miskin used to have one of his followers was a fisherman. This fisherman, he was married and he had one child. And a time came, maybe some of us right now are struggling during COVID-19. Maybe some of us have lost our job, so we can feel with this fisherman. His name is Abu Nasr al-Sayyad. He was very poor, and a time has came. So basically, whatever he fishes and he goes out there, he sells it, and that's basically his income for the day or for the few days that he's able to survive on whatever he sells. And a time came he was not able to fish, and he became very depressed. His child is hungry, he's crying a lot, and he can't feed his wife. So he passed by his teacher, and he recognizes that he's going through a tough time. And he told him, "What's your whereabouts?" He said, "I'm very, very drained and depressed, and I'm unable to support my family." So the Imam, he said, let's do something. Make wudu and let's pray 2 rak'ahs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and ask him sincerely that he will give us sustenance, and let's go fish. And subhanAllah, they do so. They go fish. They capture a couple of fishes that is big enough. And he said, and he was so happy. He's like, "Okay, you can go sell them right now, buy food and take to your family." And he does so. He goes, sells them, and he buys 2 pieces of pies, one with meat and one with sweets. And on the way back, he stops by the Imam's house and tells him, "Yeah, Imam, I want to give you some of the pie that I just purchased, the food that I purchased." And Imam told him, if I did it so I can get something in return, Allah would have not given it to us. He's this is for you. And subhanAllah, this young man or this fisherman is happy right now, walking home to his family. He's going to feed his wife and child. And he sees a mother with her child on his way to his house. And her child is crying. So he stops and says, "What's your whereabouts?" And she said, "This yatim, my child, she doesn't have her husband. She lost her husband, and her child is crying out of hunger. She doesn't have means to feed him." So this fisherman thinks of his wife and child and say, "Yeah, there's someone like them right now in front of me." So he gives them the food, both pies. Both of them, and the kid stops smiling, and the mother, the kid stops crying, and the mother starts smiling, and he goes on with his way. He didn't have much, but he gave what he had, and he continues, and then subhanAllah, he's now depressed. Again, it's like, "Oh, I don't have means to feed my family," until he heard someone's calling upon his name. Who knows Abu Nasr al-Sayyad? Who knows this fisherman? Who knows this fisherman? So he said, "Hey, I am that person." He said, "What's your whereabouts?" To make the story short, he said, "What's your whereabouts?" He said, "I'm a friend. I've been looking for you. I was a friend of your dad, and I took a loan from him back in the day, and I ventured into doing business. And I made money, and I kept growing the wealth for your father. Unfortunately, I haven't been back for about 30 years or so, and I'm coming back, and here's this much money," and he gave him thousands of dirhams. This is your portion." And subhanAllah, this man became very happy, of course, and of course he was able to feed his family and start giving more sadaqah. And he's like, "I'll give more, and I'll give more, and I'll give more," helping people who are less fortunate. He wants to feel that happiness and bringing to their faces. But he said, "I had a dream one night where the day of judgment is happening. Someone is calling upon my name." And then he comes and he's like, "Oh, please place all of his good deeds on one side and bad deeds on another side." And he says the scale was tipping, that it's not in my favor. The scale wasn't tipping in his favor. And that's in his dream. So we said, how about all the good deeds I've done, all the wealth that I've given, all the money that I gave? And they all bring all of that. And they put it on the scale. Oh, it didn't do much. And then a voice comes, he dreams, of course, a part of his dream, that did he do any other good deed that he did that can, bring up his good, the side of good measurement up. And then the angels say, he fed a mother and an orphan child. And bring these 2 pies and put them in the scale. And they do so. I said, that even the scale. I said, did he do anything else? I said, yes, he wiped the weight of the tear that he wiped over the child's cheek and the smile of the mother. And he says, when that was placed on my scale, it tipped over. And now I felt good that I survived that trial. SubhanAllah, he said, then he woke up. He woke up from his dream and says, if I'm doing it for other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah would have not given it to me. The fact that he's the little sometimes that we have, and we share it with someone who's less fortunate, it's not about how much we give, is bringing a smile into especially orphans. It has a lot of value. Like Abu Nasr al-Sayyad, he gave and Allah gave him many, many, many more. Many, many folds. Because this is a promise from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you give, Allah gives you back. فَهُوَ يُخْلِفُهُ, Allah will return it for you. It's not a matter of if, it's when. This is Allah's promise. If you help those who are less fortunate, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you more. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions orphans in the Quran about 20, 21, 23 times. And sometimes is warning people eating their wealth. And another that warning people who don't take care of orphans. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he himself was an orphan child. And subhanAllah, when he spoke of taking care of orphan children, Islamic Relief, we have this sign, right? We use it all the time. If you see my hand, this is our motto, and I hope that you make it your sign. He sallallahu says, "Ana wa kafil yatim kahatayn." Me and the one who takes care of an orphan child will be like this in heaven. See how close that distance is, not very far. Just of taking care of an orphan child, right? Just like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took of an orphan child, which is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He took care of him. Allah made it for those who take care of orphan children on this earth. It is highly rewarded that you will be with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the highest level of paradise. And what we seek, brothers and sisters, that we want, we want Jannah, and we want to have this lenient heart that when we read the Quran that we're impacted by it. Listen to this tradition of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he says a man came to him, and he asked, he said, I want my heart to be lenient, to soften. But what is, give me, Ya Rasulullah, this a recipe, give me a medicine that can help me with this, me being having a difficult, rigid heart, if you wish. He ﷺ says, أتحب أن يلين قلبك وتدرك حاجتك? Do you wish that your heart for your heart to soften and you get what you ask for? And he ﷺ told him, ارحم اليتيم, be merciful to the orphan child. وامسح رأسه, wipe over their head. I know we asking you to take care of children, you're unable to do that physically, but inshallah with your donation that you can do so. And then he ﷺ says, and that is the unique part. He didn't say feed them and stop. He ﷺ said, وَأَطْعِمْهُ مِنْ طَعَامِكَ, feed them from your food. Not McDonald's dollar menu. If you're going to this beautiful Afghan restaurant, or you're going to eat chicken tikka masala, you're eating magluba, if that's what you're eating for iftar, that's what you should feed them for iftar. If that's what you want your children to wear on Eid day, that's what you want these orphans to wear on Eid day. Not to give you leftover clothes and say, yeah, take these. Yeah, I don't need these anymore. They're 10 years old. No. He said, وَأَطْعِمْهُ مِنْ طَعَامِكَ. Feed them from your food. يَلِنْ قَلْبَكَ وَتُدْرِكْ حَاجَتَكَ. Then, if you do so, equal. Think of them as your children. Whether you're married or not, you have children or not, you can take care of orphan children. Then he says, يَلِنْ قَلْبَكَ وَتُدْرِكْ حَاجَتَكَ. Your heart will soften and you will get what you kept asking for by taking care of these orphan children. Inshallah ta'ala, that we're capable of doing so. You know, brothers and sisters, we have a lot of bills. You have a cell phone bill, you have a TV subscription, whatever your favorite streaming service. You have electricity bill, you have this bill, you have this. Can we have an orphan bill in our budget? Right? Make that just like you have that $50 for whatever is your cell phone bills, are probably 2 orphans, I guess, if you have Verizon Wireless, expensive service. But and the good thing is you have that bill, it doesn't drop your service. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has you connected with him. Yani, inshallah, the hasanat will continue. Not like these phone companies dropping services left and right. But if you have any of the countries, and I understand, brothers and sisters, not all of us are capable of paying some of these amounts, but inshallah ta'ala, that you think of it, whether it's, you know, the low end, there's some countries would cost $516 a year, it's $43 a month. This monthly allowance that you give, inshallah ta'ala, goes towards their food, education. And the beautiful thing about Islamic Relief, and there's different form, you know, there's organizations who build orphanages, may Allah bless them, but Islamic Relief model is not that way. Islamic Relief, if there's an orphan child, the father is missing, so the mother will take care of them. If both parents are out, Islamic Relief encourages family adoption. So basically, like a kin, the uncle, the grandparents to take care of these children, and the monthly allowance they get, inshallah ta'ala, not only helps these orphans, but it helps the family that are also taking care of them. And this is part of the one-on-one sponsorship that you have the opportunity to take care of, inshallah ta'ala. Whether it's $43 a month, $49 a month, or $65 a month, that you're able to take care of an orphan child, inshallah. If you cannot take care of one child per year, I hope that you can, or push yourself, or convince yourself that you can, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you if you give. Al-hasanatu bi'ashri amthaliha. And keep in mind, wallahi, you know, these children, we think they need us, right? Wallahi, we need them more. By Allah, we need them more. Because if you look at the virtues and benefits of sadaqah, it helps you, it cures the sick. That's according to the hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whatever you give, Allah will replace it for you. They're multiplied by tenfold, and it could be many more than that. And these are verses in the Quran. I don't have to mention them, but there's many incidents in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks of, if you give, Allah gives you. Allah will return it for you. Allah will multiply it for you. It cures the sick. It will basically intercede before you, before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we give, we need that. We need that more than you want that forgiveness, you want that growth, you want that cleanliness of your soul and wealth. We need to help these children more than they need us. And finally, if you're unable to take care of an orphan child, or you don't like the monthly commitment, we have the Orphan General Fund available in Islamic Relief. In many locations, there's way too many orphans. If we're unable to cover them one-on-one, we have programs that will serve a greater number of orphan children. Back to school program, feeding them, doing activities that will help a greater number of orphan children. And unfortunately, the Muslim Ummah is not short of calamities across the globe right now. Yemen is a very difficult time right now. Our programs, the daily, as you look and you can see in your screen, Islamic Relief, our programs, whether we give them educational opportunity, clean water, nutrition, sanitation services, to help these less fortunate, these children. And these children have a lot of, subhanAllah, ambition, and they have a lot of potential. Inshallah ta'ala, with your help, we can take care of them, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. We can reduce that number of 422 orphans that the last I looked at, maybe it's less right now, that we inshallah bring it to 0. And we can fund also the General Fund program, the Orphan Fund program, take care of more children in need. And inshallah ta'ala, we will see this, whatever investment that we're making with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as big as mountain of Uhud on the day of judgment. That we see the leniency in our heart when we give, that we see happiness when we give, that we see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will facilitate things for us if we give through Islamic Relief, inshallah ta'ala. It's a great medium organization that helps many orphans across the globe. It's not specific into one country. There's the choices available for you. There's many countries that, alhamdulillah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we run this program in, and inshallah with your help we're able to do it and take care of these children. I will stop here, inshallah. People, I'm sure, will hand it back to Haneen or Nabil. Please don't hold back. Challenge yourself. Give more than breadcrumbs or the comfort level that you have. If you do so, you will see, inshallah ta'ala, Allah will return it back to you one way or another. Jazakumullah khair.
Jazakallah khair, Munir. Thank you for that. Thank you for that inspirational talk and that reminder. We are now going to end the program. I'd like to thank everyone that's tuned in, whether you tuned in through the Zoom link or whether it was through Facebook or YouTube or whatever means. So thank you so much. And just to kind of reiterate what Brother Munir mentioned, let's take care of these orphans. Let's feed them with kind of the same food that we're having. We're gonna, inshallah, for those of us on the West Coast, we'll be breaking our fast in about an hour and a half. Some of you, if you're other parts of the country, might have already broken your fast. So let's remember this as we break our fast, or as we enter the night tonight, that let's, we have, alhamdulillah, so many blessings, so many benefits. Let's share these benefits with people that that don't have the same benefits and privileges that we have. And as Brother Munir mentioned, honestly, it's not much for us. Donating, it's not gonna hurt us. It's not gonna put us in a bad financial situation, but it will improve the situations of other people, and it will bless us, inshallah. So with that, I just also wanted to say a special thanks to Sister Farida. She's not on the Zoom link, but this annual Ramadan Orphan Sponsorship program event that we do, it was actually started by her back in 2013 when she decided to get a group of her friends together to do orphan sponsorship. And alhamdulillah, it carried on as a tradition every Ramadan, and the event got bigger and bigger and bigger. And what it has actually come to, alhamdulillah, it's amazing. So thank you to Sister Farida for having started this, and for letting us continue this event. And inshallah, I say inshallah very strongly, inshallah, next year when COVID is gone and it's behind us, we'll be back to having this event in person, where we can all be physically with each other, inshallah. So thank you all. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the Zoom chat or on the YouTube link, and we can answer your questions. And then again, the link and the number is here. And if you, for some reason, you lose the link, you lose the number, you can always just Google irusa.org and go to Islamic Relief's beautiful, amazing webpage and find the link for orphan sponsorship and other projects as well. So thank you, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.